If you take a step back and look at the history of global sports, not just football, but all sports, you notice something strange. Usually, when someone achieves absolute, undeniable perfection at what they do, society agrees to admire them. We do it with Michael Jordan. We do it with Serena Williams. We do it with Usain Bolt, Wayne Gretzky. Even if they beat your favorite team, there's this baseline level of universal respect. And then there's Cristiano Ronaldo. No athlete in the history of modern media has generated this level of intense, burning, multi-generational hatred. Think about it. He has over 600 million followers on Instagram, more than any individual human being on the face of the earth. He has won 5 Ballons d'Ors, 5 Champions Leagues, scored over 970 official goals. He is, by every objective metric, one of the greatest to ever walk the planet. Yet, if you go into any comment section, read any major sports news article, any sports bar, you'll find millions of people who don't just dislike him, they despise him. They call him selfish, they call him arrogant, they call him Pinaldo. Now, the easiest reason to give is, oh, it's just rivals hating, or he played for Real Madrid, so Barcelona fans hate him. But if you're watching this video, you know that's not the whole story. Because this hatred transcends rivalries. It goes deeper than club loyalties. It's personal. People react to Ronaldo with an emotional, visceral reaction that feels almost defensive. So I spent the last few weeks digging into this, not looking at stats, but looking at human psychology. Why does this specific man make millions of everyday people so uncomfortable? And what I realized is actually pretty wild. People don't hate Cristiano Ronaldo because of his faults. They hate him because of the specific psychological triggers he activates in the human brain every time he steps onto the pitch. Let's break it down. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth about human nature. As humans, we love the concept of God-given talent. We adore it. Think about how we talk about Lionel Messi or Ronaldinho. We use words like magician, alien, gifted, blessed. When Messi dribbles through 5 defenders, our brain instantly goes, well, that's magic. He was born with a touch from God. Now, why does our brain love that narrative so much? Because it gives us an out. If greatness is a divine gift, if it's magic, then you and I are completely off the hook. You can sit on your couch, eat a bowl of chips, look at the screen and say, well, I'm not doing that because I wasn't born with the magic spark. It preserves our self-esteem. It allows us to feel comfortable in our mediocrity because greatness was simply never on the menu for us. And then, Cristiano Ronaldo enters the room, and he ruins the entire comfort routine. Look at Ronaldo's early days. When he arrived at Manchester United in 2003, he was not a finished product. He was a skinny, raw teenager from a small island called Madeira. He had talent, sure, but he was inefficient. Young Ronaldo wasn't always as lethal in front of goal and would hit shots everywhere. He was not born a titan until he manufactured one. Listen to how his teammates talk about him. Rio Ferdinand said Ronaldo used to put ankle weights on in training just to make his footwork faster. Gary Neville said he had never seen a human being shift their mental focus so violently from being a scrawny, really thin kid to being an ultimate output machine. He would stay in the gym hours after everyone else left. Think about what this physical transformation represents. His body isn't a result of genetics alone. It's a physical blueprint of pain, of practicing until you're perfect. And this is where the hatred starts. Because Ronaldo's entire existence destroys the talent excuse. He holds up a mirror to the spectator. He shows us that elite perfection isn't just magic dropped from the sky. It is constructed through borderline insane discipline, suffering, and relentless work ethic over decades. In psychology, there's a term called cognitive dissonance. It happens when you are confronted with proof that contradicts your personal worldview. If you want to believe that hard work has limits and that the lazy path is okay because we aren't all born geniuses, Ronaldo is a living, breathing contradiction to your worldview. He proves that a human being can literally engineer themselves into godhood through sheer force of will. Critics need Ronaldo to fail. They desperately want him to stumble, because if his obsessively engineered work ethic succeeds, it means the average person's laziness is no longer justified. It means we are accountable for our own potential. And honestly, people hate being held accountable. Let's talk about modern society's favorite social contract: performative humility. We live in a culture that demands that successful people pretend to be humble. If you win an Oscar, you're supposed to cry and say, "Oh, I can't believe this. Everyone else was so much better than me." If you win a championship, you're supposed to say, "It's all thanks to my teammates. I'm just a small part of the machine." We force elites to play small so that we don't feel uncomfortable around their magnitude. And Ronaldo looks at that social contract, tears it up, and throws it in the trash. Look at his celebrations. He points to his chest as if to say, "I did this, me." To the casual viewer, that looks like pure ego. But if you look deeper through a psychological lens, it's actually radical self-validation. Ronaldo knows how much work he put into that moment. He knows the thousands of hours of pain, the sacrifices, the dark mornings in Madeira when nobody believed in him. So when the moment arrives, he refuses to pretend that it happened by accident. He demands ownership of his labor. And modern society hates that, because we are taught from a young age to fit in, to keep our heads down, to not brag, to not stand out too much. When we see someone who openly declares, "I am the best and I backed it up with work," it triggers our deep-seated insecurities. We call it arrogance because calling it earned confidence forces us to ask why we don't have that same belief in ourselves. Now, there's another layer to this that we have to talk about: the media ecosystem. Because the hate for Ronaldo isn't just organic, it's extremely profitable. We live in an attention economy. Algorithms on YouTube, X, TikTok, and television don't run on nuance. They run on outrage and tribalism. Media companies realized very early on that Ronaldo is the ultimate click engine. If you publish an article saying Ronaldo was supportive of his young teammate today, you get 10,000 views. If you publish a headline saying Ronaldo storms off pitch in anger after teammate fails to pass, you get 5 million views, 50,000 furious comments, and 3 days of debates on sports radio. He was framed as the villain in a multi-billion-dollar media narrative because every good movie needs an antagonist. And the media sold that narrative so effectively for years that people stopped watching Ronaldo the human being and started watching Ronaldo the caricature. So, where does this leave us? Now that Ronaldo is in the twilight of his career, something fascinating has been happening. The hate is starting to soften. People are beginning to realize that once he hangs up his boots, an entire era of human achievement in sport is coming to a close. When you look back at all the anger, all the hot takes, all the toxic Twitter threads, you start to realize that the hatred was never really about Cristiano Ronaldo at all. It was about us. It was about our fear of absolute discipline. It was about our discomfort with a man who refused to act small just to make the world feel comfortable. Ronaldo didn't play the game to be liked. He played the game to be undeniable. He forced an entire generation of viewers to stare into a mirror and confront a question most people spend their whole lives avoiding. What could you become if you stopped making excuses, stopped asking for permission, and dedicated every single second of your life to your goal? Most people don't like the answer to that question because the answer requires work, it requires sacrifice, it requires suffering. And so it's much easier to just call him arrogant, turn off the TV, and go back to sleep. I'm curious to know your thoughts too. Drop a comment below, let's talk more about it. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button. We've got more deep dive essays like this coming down the pipeline. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.